Hello, friends. Welcome to Level Up with Debbie Neal. I am your host. There is nowhere I would rather be than right here, right now with you. This podcast is all about leveling up in all aspects of our lives. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Together, we are leveling up. You ready? Hello, my Level Up family. I'm so happy and excited to be here with all of you. As always, last week we spoke about self-awareness, becoming self-aware of our actions, our reactions, and our body language, how we interact with others and how we are perceived by others. And you know what? This matters, especially as we are committed to expand and level up our life. So really think about this. Have you ever seen someone show up in a way that you believe or you witness someone reacting like so poorly or negative, or you witness someone talking down to someone or making somebody else feel bad, and it almost seems like they're just clueless to what they just said or did? That's self-awareness. It's important to understand how we show up in the world. Nothing changes until we change. So today we're going to be talking about servant leadership. To lead is to serve. Leadership isn't power. It isn't authority. It's the commitment and the role to enhance the lives of others. If you're building a team, if you're building a community, if you're committed to developing and empowering others, empowering leaders, becoming a servant leader and developing a servant leadership community makes all the difference. It is part of our journey. So there's a mindset, right? There's a mindset. Maybe at one point you had it. Maybe you know somebody that does. Like, what can my team do for me? What are my employees doing for me? And we don't do it intentionally. Sometimes we might. And it's about you. Like, if I get people to work, I'll become successful. The leader makes it all about them. And one of the major lessons I've learned in my journey of leadership is it's not about us. It's actually never about us. It's about serving others, leading others. Now, don't confuse serving others with enabling, okay? It's a big difference. When we serve others, we empower others, right? And build this type of atmosphere that people want to work in. They strive to perform in that atmosphere. When people feel fulfilled, they produce higher, better results. Their productivity goes up. When leaders make others feel like they are appreciated, right? Everybody's wearing a neon sign that says, make me feel important, make me feel special. So when they feel like they're part of a team, that they're part of like a collaborating not organization, like team, I guess is the word I'm looking for, part of the solution, that they're recognized for their efforts and results. The people like on the they feel appreciated. They feel recognized. They feel valued and respected. And guess what? They want to do more. They love the feeling they're getting when other people feel like happy. And it's just like this amazing circle of awesomeness. Okay. Servant leaders pour into their teams. They speak life into and over their team. They fill them with confidence and vision and create an atmosphere of winning. When you create this, you create community, and community is everything. People will choose community over management, especially today. Our goal is to create an environment with love and engagement and communication and roots. So today we're going to go over 10 qualities of servant leadership. Each and every day, our goal is to become a better leader. The better we become, the more leaders we empower and develop to be better. And then what happens as a result? We're making the world a better place. A better place. Number one, listening. Servant leaders, what do? We observe. We listen. And listening isn't always words. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I can hear things without a word. It's body language. It's energy. So like when I go to an event, for example, or when I host an event, maybe I do a lot of different things at my home. I love to really listen, to observe, to watch, right? I watch the level of belief people speak with, interact with, conduct themselves with. I could tell so much by just really feeling and listening. You can hear so much that you're able to utilize to coach and to develop your leaders with. When we do this, you understand and you see growth opportunities. Like every time I'm around people, when they come and ask for feedback, I saw so much that I can lovingly share with them. Over the years, I've been able to develop this more and more, and I'm so grateful. Because here's the thing. You can have amazing people in your business, amazing people on your team, and they're going through the motions, and from the outside, it looks like they're working. And the reality is they are. But however, when you listen, when you observe, when you pay attention, you see so much. Okay. We all have blind spots, and serving by truly observing and offering feedback is priceless as you develop your skills. In addition, it's actually truly listening when somebody's talking to you. As you build your influence and leadership, people will respect you. They're going to come to you with things, right? Take the time, truly listen, put your phone down, look up, make eye contact, give them the time. This makes them feel valued, important, be fully present. In addition, know how to manage the situation, because there's a difference between being a servant leader and like just listening to listen, right? And listening to you don't have to listen to the same negativity over and over and over again, right? So maybe somebody's speaking to you and they're not doing anything different. They're not taking action, but they're like coming. But this is where your leadership can turn the conversation into action. Okay. Number 2, caring. Servant leaders, they care. Relationships make all the difference. No one will care how much you know, right? We know the rest of this until they know how much you care. Servant leaders get to know their teams. They know about their life. They ask about their life. A servant leader knows when their team is happy in their professional life, because here's the reality, that's going to build into their professional life. It also helps us as leaders understand why they're showing up in a certain way. Number 3, servant leaders, right? To become a better servant leader is learning how to grow through adversity. As we grow, we experience growing pains. Maybe somebody on your team lost members. Maybe they lost a position or title. Maybe the team and company went through an obstacle. Here's the thing. When you're navigating through this, servant leaders, we speak about it, right? What did we learn? How can we grow from this? How can we pivot into our power from the experience? It can't just be brushed under the rug. It isn't always just, you know what? Everybody get back to work. Let's make like it didn't happen. It's not living in it. It's not dwelling on it, but at the same time, it's talking and growing through it. There is no mistake unless you don't learn from it. Healing, learning, building vision, building trust, building commitment is all part of building our servant leadership. It's small thinking to think, you know what? Let's not even talk about it. Every minute is precious. I just want everybody back to work. Do what you need to do. Here's the reality when we do that. We're not serving. You're masking up a situation that could be easily led through by you. Servant leaders lead in all situations. We don't pull back. We don't avoid. We lead, and we do what's best for the ones we lead. When we don't heal situations, it leads to cracks in our foundation, cracks in our belief, and everything grows on a solid foundation. Number 4, self-awareness. This was last week's podcast. Okay. And as we increase our self-awareness, it's increasing our servant leadership, right? Servant leaders are aware how they show up, how they treat others, how they are leading from the front. They're aware of their energy, their vision, their level of belief, their level of professionalism, their level of positivity. All these things empower us to lead. Our energy isn't about us. It's about creating an atmosphere of abundance and growth. As leaders, we are not responsible for the success of others, but we are responsible for the atmosphere in which we create. As we become more and more self-aware, we become more and more of a servant leader. Think about this. Have you ever had a goal, right? Now, if you haven't had a goal, we need to have a discussion, okay? So have you ever had a goal, declared it to your team, maybe you told your family about it, and then like you worked hard and then you missed it, right? Are you self-aware how you showed up the next day? Did you show up full of gratitude for the team that rallied for you, that did their best and worked hard? Or did you make it about you? I didn't hit it. I'm so sad. I'm hurt, right? And not show up again like the leader who declared the goal. Like really sit in that for a minute. Is that servant leadership? I'm not here to judge you, and I am not here to point fingers, but I am here to remind you of your greatness, right? I'm here to remind you to get up because this isn't about you. Light the fire inside of your soul. Focus on love and gratitude and lead your team to victory. When we stay where we are you self-aware of what that does to your team? People confuse a leader who's going through the motions with a leader who's leading. When we're going through the motions, we're like, we're here. If you need me, I'm here. If you have a question, I'm here. Like a Muppet. Leading is blazing a trail with fire in your belly. And self-awareness is huge as servant leadership. In servant leadership. Okay. Number 5, influence. Leadership is influence and influence is leadership. We influence others with our words. We influence others with our actions. A leader with authority tells people what to do. A servant leader tells them why it's best to do that. Servant leaders can move a team. They can inspire others into action. They've done the work on themselves. They have vision and goals. They're respected. Their team knows, right? Their team knows that if they're calling on their greatness, it's for their benefit. Number 6, microscope versus telescope view. So like, what does that mean? Okay. So a servant leader sees the business through a telescope and a microscope. A microscope is the situation right now. Like you look through a microscope, you're shrinking something down, you're enlarging something that's very small, right? So they're looking through that microscope, they're focusing, they're seeing the daily do, the action plan, the moving parts, and then the telescope, that's the big picture. It's the vision, it's the goals, and both are important. A servant leader can think and see beyond the small stuff, right? As we grow the ability to do both, we're serving our team with focus as well as motivation and then vision. So for example, you may have somebody that you're leading and they call you up with a situation, a problem, a dilemma, okay? With your microscope, you can see it and coach them on exactly what to do. You're looking at the situation. Then with your telescope, you're always reminding them of the big picture. Like, we don't want to sweat the small stuff. It's all part of the journey. You're reminding them of where they're going. You're reminding them of their why. You're reminding them of their potential. Okay. You're reminding them of what they're building towards, what they are creating. And that it's not logic. It's vision. A servant leader's goal, right, is that if somebody's going to call them up and they're feeling down or they want to complain or they're feeling negative, that when they hang up the phone from that servant leader they're calling, they even forgot why they were even disheveled or upset in the first place. They're immediately in vision mode because that servant leader knows how to serve. Number 7, building wisdom in mistakes. Servant leaders learn from the past. You guys, we're all going to make mistakes. I've made them. Everything I've grown through, I can lead now somebody else through it. Great. Been there, done that. My wisdom and my leadership is different on the other side, right? So as I'm growing through it, it's different once I grow through it. Servant leaders understand the importance of learning from past mistakes. They have lessons from past mistakes. They have wisdom to offer from past mistakes. That's why as leaders, it's so important to pivot into our power as we're growing through an obstacle. We're looking for the lessons. We're looking for, gosh, what are we supposed to learn in this situation, right? We're leveling up. We look for the opportunity to improve. We serve others with our wisdom if they ever find themselves that they're growing through it. And here's the important part. When you're in it, because I've been in things, right? Growing through things, growing pain, situations, obstacles, losses. Servant leaders do not talk about it when they're in it. That's called complaining. When I'm in an obstacle, it would not serve anyone that I lead if I called them to talk about it. And then people say, oh, but we're friends. You need to know where to draw the line. Okay. If you're a parent, you know where to draw that line. There's some things you just don't talk about with your kids. And I'm not saying my team is my children. I'm just saying that that's not servant leadership, to talk to them about things that I'm growing through, that I'm feeling pain, that I'm learning. Because there's days that I don't want to say that I ever have doubt. I don't, but like I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm expanding and I'm working through things. So sharing it, that isn't servant leadership. It's selfish leadership. And I'm saying it with love. Okay. Number 8, lead with excellence. Servant leaders lead from the front. They lead by example. They go first. They don't ask their teams to do anything that they're not doing. This is how you build influence. This is how you build respect. This is how you serve others. When we feel it's hard, they see you doing it, right? When they feel like they're struggling, like, wow, my leader's doing it. I could do it too. We don't lead from the front to rub it in anybody's face. We don't lead from the front to say, nanny, 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 I'm doing it and you're not. No, we lead from the front to say, I got you. Hold my hand. Let's go. I will go the way. I will show you the way and I will lead you that way. They see you reaching out your hand to lead them. It's very different than pointing the finger. You do this, you do that, you have to do this. When your team sees you going for it, earning the challenges on the field, this is motivating to them. This is how you serve. That's what servant leaders do. You create the energy. It's of never beneath me, always beside me. Think about it. If you're a company with a trip, right? I know a lot of different companies launch trips. Okay. My brother's a financial planner. He just came back from California with a trip that he earned. How can you rally your team around it if you're not committed to earning it? How can you look them in the face and tell them to do it if you aren't doing it? And here's the reality. If somebody earns something that you've asked them to do, but you're not doing, one or two things are going to happen. Okay. They're going to develop their own leadership to earn it outside of your influence. Okay. And when they don't see you there, it diminishes our leadership. We don't command influence and respect. We build it. We build it by serving and leading with excellence. Number 9, committed to growth. Servant leaders are growth focused. They are not satisfied with good. They're always developing their why. They always have a goal. Without a goal, we lose the ability to lead. We end up managing our existing business. When we do that, it leads to resentment. When we are committed to growth, we serve and lead with high energy. We speak vision. We have big conversations. We push and encourage others to rise up. We coach to win. Servant leaders develop leaders by leading by example. When we are committed to growth, we are in the right energy and vision mindset to help others set goals, come up with action plans, and to achieve them. Number 10, build community. Servant leaders build just like an awesome collaboration atmosphere, exchanging ideas, visions, solutions, like blending. They empower their leaders to contribute. They empower their leaders to set up and lead. Servant leaders, they don't want followers. They're on a mission to empower leaders. Servant leaders, they create events, get-togethers, team challenges, team events, team trainings. They build a community filled with love, positivity, growth, and connections. And at the same time, they're always leading by example. Here's the thing. People quit businesses all the time. People quit jobs all the time. People don't quit people. And servant leaders, They know this. They build connections and they build relationships. You were all born to be servant leadership. And this is a journey that's a lifetime. Like, I have so much more to learn. You have so much more to learn. We're works in progress. So I love you, my friends, and I'm proud of you for committing to level up. It's an honor to spend this time with you. And next week, we're going to be talking about the power of duplication when it comes to success. It's not a little thing. It's everything. Remember to download Wednesday's affirmations. So they will be servant leadership. It's the episode following this one. Speaking words over and over into ourself creates our beliefs, our actions, and our future. Love you all.